What is it? It's a 20 HP stereo morphing granular sampler. And it offers 8 simultaneous sound slots. And you can see the little 8 buttons down the bottom that you can select with either a inbuilt granular sample, or you can actually use a audio input coming in. And not only that, but you can also dial into some sort of dual scene morphing mode between that, and that's what that little slider is, like an XY morphing.
Yeah, that slider's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
this thing is packed, as with all Intellijel stuff. This thing is packed with a whole bunch of stuff, and the feature list was huge. And I thought, we'll just go through some of them. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to cover all of them because it's massive. The video goes for 6 minutes. We can't watch it all, but we know that there's an micro SD card in there that you can load your own granular samples on. You can also input your own audio and it will sample that on the fly. There's 13 dedicated granular parameters, including grain size, position, envelope shape. There's manual and CV controllable morphing between scenes. There's built-in resampling to create new samples from the processed audio that you've just done. There's blur reverb effect, which is their own reverb effect for spatial enhancement.
Sounds pretty good too.
The assignable X, Y, and Z CV inputs for internal random and modulation sources. So I noticed on the video they had a planner too next to it. There's a mod A and B output for modulating external modules with this, so you can actually use those modulation parameters to control other gear. There's a 48K 24-bit stereo I/O with 32-bit floating point internal processing on it. That's pretty cool with the 32-bit floating point, so there's the lack of clipping type problem there. It supports up to 48 projects with 48 presets, so you can dial in presets and save stuff. There is an included sound pack from artists like Richard Devine and Speedy J, and there's a bunch more, including Red Means Recording, Jeremy, plus many, many, many more features, as I said. Price is only $479, which I thought was insanely cheap for this. Let's have a little look at the video.
Welcome to
Multigrain.
To the panel, what's the best synth you've played?
I've always been tempted to buy one of those.
I've got a couple of them.
My brain is still on the first 2 minutes of this video. I haven't caught up to this part yet.
Yeah. Thing is
There's a planner
bonkers.
too. Oh. That's the Darren button right there.
Oh yes.
Guys, I want to watch the video forever and ever and ever and
Yeah.
ever and ever and ever and
It's
ever
very
because
cool.
it was friggin' awesome. But what did you guys think of the multigrain? Who likes multigrain bread?
Yeah.
I bet you do now.
I've got to admit, I do like
I-
it, and I would think of popping that into something for live. You know, without it's another one of those modules that I've been going on about, where you can just put it in a little box
Yep.
and use it as is, more or less.
Yeah.
And I like them type of modules
As an instrument.
rather than having to have a rather than having to have a full modular.
Yeah. It's typical Intellijel. One module does everything, keep you occupied for a whole day type, at least before you have to go to sleep.
Now, before you guys say anything more, let me just say one more thing. Right now, if you buy something from Intellijel and you live in Canada or the US, it's free shipping. And if you live anywhere else in the world, it's 50% off shipping anywhere else in the world.
Okay.
If you spend $399 US or more, this qualifies for it. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Darren, is they do sell cases, little pod cases. So you can get a little pod case from them, which is like the Metropolix Solo kit, for example.
Yes.
Can't remember how much that thing is, but it's well, there you go. It's $149. There you go. That's how much it is. Which is probably a bit too big for this, but you could have another. You put another module in there. Anyway,
Exactly. It's always, then there you start off, then, don't you? And another module. I'll get a bigger case. And another one. No.
chuck it in your nifty case. You'll be right.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was looking at, actually. Just thinking.
Yeah, this
This-
thing does a lot. It's like instant pulse stretch and so much other stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. Actually, I like this.
Oh, they're in. Go on in, get it.
They're
You don't
clever
need
little-
to get any other
No,
module.
no. I'm not going to get it, but I like it.
They're clever little buggers, these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been working hard. They've been working hard the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're especially getting good with their
Last couple of
DSP
things
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But don't forget, they also make amazing cases. I love their 7U cases. So,
I like all their infrastructure.
yeah.
I like the fact that all their panels are aluminium.
Yeah,
All nice stuff.
kind of where I sort of get just crazy with their stuff is they've thought about things to the depth. So you look at their modules and you think just on face value, hey, cool, it's doing all this cool stuff. But then you can just really go deep with them as well.
You've
they've
bought this,
added-
haven't you, Rans?
No, I haven't bought it. I nearly did.
You,
I nearly did.
you bought it in your mind because
Could,
I'm seeing you
He's
put this
gonna
with
research
C-legs,
it.
aren't you?
Right now,
gonna research
Darren,
it for at
there's
least a couple
two
of days.
products that are sitting in my little basket, what do you want to call it, and I can only get one, and I'm like, this or the other thing, this or the other thing.
Oh,
It's
no.
like, I'm gonna have to flip a coin or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Get the kids in here, do rock paper scissors. Jeez.
Yeah, but then that'll still never work because you'll say, give it another go. Go on, best of 3, best of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget it, I'll buy them both.
Yeah. Let's just go broke and let's eat ramen for a week.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I have to. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, it's just another granular synth. I'm kind of over granular stuff. I had my little foray with the Xils-labs, but the longer this goes on, the more I get sort of. This is like a grown-up version of the Xils-labs. Grown up, so it's actually like the fidelity is there, and said the finesse and the sort of polish is there. If you're looking for something grittier, I think I'd say the Xils-labs is nice, cheap, and
Lo-fi.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is if you're really into sound design, and as I said, someone like Rance who really loves his granular, this is ticking the boxes.
Oh hell yeah.
And it's such typical. It's typical Intellijel, as you said. They must sit on these products for so long, and God knows how many endless number of iterations they must be doing before they find something that is something special, and then they release it. I mean, you've got to have a lot of chutzpah, should I say, behind you to sort of do that in this industry. But if anyone was going to do it, it's Intellijel, because they've been around for donkey's years.
They have.
I started with the Bastel
it's
micro
such
granny a long time ago, and it's so lo-fi and glitchy and clicky and stuff. It's not that fun to use.
Yeah.
This just sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think where this is kind of really kicking goals, though, I think everyone saw it, is that you can pull some audio into this, and then you can granularize that. But then on top of that, you can then resample that and granularize that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you've got 3 different ways that you can granularize stuff. And then you've got all the features that the granularized system allows you to do with those 3 different ways. And then you can morph between them. So that it's like, what? It's huge. And I mean, okay, there's one little negative thing about it, and that is that it's kind of a single voice, right? But did you guys feel like it was a single voice? It didn't really feel like a single voice.
Because of the grains. Because you're getting polyphony on the number of grains. That's your polyphony right there.
Yep.
And also the blur is adding some kind of ambience, reverb. That is a voice.
yeah, the early bit sounded like Aphex
really
Twin,
is a voice.
and it's crazy.
Yeah, there is kind of a cool little trick you can do with it. So down the bottom where you've got your 8 different granular patches that you've got, you can actually go between, you can sequence them as well. You can go between each of them, and there's a little tail on each of them, and it won't cut the tail off. So it is, in that sense, it's kind of a little bit polyphonic in that sense. Which is why you guys are getting that sort of hi-fi vibe out of this. It's not glitching out like some of the other granular stuffs that you guys are used to. So it's some really clever DSP programming in this for sure, definitely. So the thing is, I've never been able to afford a Waldorf Quantum, or I'd love one. And that's kind of like the epitome of granular synths. I've got the Arturia Pigments, in which I love. It's awesome. I haven't even updated it yet. I want to update it to their latest one, because that was pretty cool. It released that a few months ago. But all those things are kind of great and everything. But I mean, what was I saying? It was $479. Seriously, that is like, for a Eurorack module that does all this, that is dirt cheap. I'm blown away. Yeah, good job, Intellijel.
Well, they're
Potential module of the year.
They're also, I think this is a classic case of they're making the decision to not exactly cost their time in developing the software for this. This is a classic case of what I would call your development time is considered to be not worth anything as such in the final product's MSRP. It's the classic, look, it takes as long as it takes. I'm not going to count the number of hours. I'm going, when it's ready, this is the price it's going to be, because that's the hardware cost multiplied by our factor. So I think that's what's going on here. This is why they're producing modules at these price points. Is because they're projects that aren't being costed in reverse. They're being costed at the start, and until they're ready, they don't go to market. That's just my theory.
What I like about this company is
they're
not just sort of taking in the money and driving around in Ferraris with the profits. They're actually reinvesting it into what the community, it's creating a village, right, of people who are becoming fans of Intellijel, because like, what are these guys going to do next? I kind of, it started with me, Darren, and you're the same, weren't you? It started with us. Our love affair started with Intellijel, with the 185. Metropolis, yeah.
Yeah. Which is still sat there,
yeah. Which is sat there.
Great module.
But anyway,
Also, you gotta love that horizontal slider. It's like the Akai SX12. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's like a deck. Yeah, it's like a DJ deck.
Money. Right. That is it for
Okay,
news.
right, well, we'll see it next week then.
Gonna happen. Yeah.
Who wants to help me?